I stopped softening my voice because softness invites misunderstanding. People confuse calm with permission. They mistake silence for weakness and assume depth means access. I learned early that survival does not come from being loud, it comes from being precise. Every word is measured, every pause intentional, every silence designed to protect distance. Most people do not want truth, they want comfort that sounds like honesty. They want depth that flatters them, not depth that exposes them. They ask questions they are not prepared to hear answers to. Most people stop when the air gets heavy, but you did not. When my tone went still, you did not pull back. When my words lost their softness, you did not look for humor. You did not rush to make things comfortable. You stayed where the weight increased. People like me notice that immediately because we survive by detecting fractures and identifying moments when something stops behaving normally. You did not behave the way people usually do. You did not treat my silence as absence, you treated it as presence. You listened to what was not spoken. You waited without demanding clarity. That kind of waiting is not normal. It comes from someone who has lived in similar darkness. Darkness does not announce itself, it simply exists. Most people recoil from that energy because they feel exposed by it and judged by it. You did not shrink, you adjusted. That was the first crack in my control because I realized you were not trying to understand me, you already did. Understanding without effort is never coincidence. I have spent years mastering the art of being misread, not misunderstood. Misunderstanding comes from ignorance, misreading comes from control. I allow people to see what they can handle. I let them label me as cold, intense, distant. Those labels protect me because once people think they understand you, they stop looking deeper. You did not label me, you observed me. Observation is more dangerous than judgment. You noticed pauses I did not explain, restraint I did not highlight, calm that sharpened under pressure. You noticed things I did not give permission to notice. People like me operate on unspoken rules. You see what I allow, you understand what I explain, you stay outside what I keep closed. You never followed those rules. You bypassed them through familiarity, like someone walking into a place they have never seen and knowing where the walls are. That recognition does not come from attraction. It comes from shared experience, shared restraint, shared survival. My darkness stopped feeling private, not because you invaded it, but because it responded to you. That was terrifying because I realized parts of me reacted to presence, not pressure. I have spent my life controlling reactions, containing responses, and neutralizing vulnerability. But you did not trigger defense, you triggered stillness. Stillness is where truth lives. When I stopped adjusting around you, I noticed something else. You did not change either. You did not lean in emotionally. You did not retreat. You stayed consistent. Most people romanticize depth or escape it. You treated it like information. Information does not scare people familiar with complexity. That is when I realized the real danger was not you seeing me, but me recognizing myself in you. Your patience was ingrained. Your silence was fluent. Your attention was steady. You did not need answers to feel secure. That kind of presence dismantles control without effort. I did not panic. I did not retreat. I became alert like an animal that does not run because it recognizes that what is in front of it is not a predator, but is not harmless either. You did not challenge me. You did not perform understanding. You simply existed. Presence without performance is dangerous because performance gives patterns, and consistency removes control. I realized I could not predict you, not because you were chaotic, but because you were grounded. Stability that does not need validation is dangerous because it sees everything. I noticed myself anticipating your perception before forming thoughts, and that frightened me more than closeness ever had. You did not expose my wounds, you exposed my identity. I realized how much of my strength depended on isolation, and clarity relied on being unmatched. You matched me without trying. Depth shared stopped being a weapon, it became a bridge. I did not feel weaker, I felt accurate. I was not losing control, I was losing the need to hide, and hiding had felt like identity for so long. Nothing collapsed, Nothing broke. My intensity remained. My silence stayed mine. My darkness did not disappear. It was witnessed without fear, without projection, without demand. That is when I understood the difference. Submission gives power away. Surrender removes resistance. I did not give you power over me. I released friction between what already existed, and that cannot be undone. You did not change who I am. You revealed what no longer needs defending. For the first time, I was not surviving alone.